Hi everybody, it's Katie, and today I am doing my April Roundup, May TBR, and April book haul. I don't want to split this up into 3 separate videos, so I'm just going to try to combine them all into one. And a lot of them kind of like overflow each other. So the first thing that I'm going to do is my April Roundup. I finally seem to have gotten myself out of the reading slump that I was in. Don't know what caused the reading slump, but I finally got out of it. Ended last month with reading books from The Giver, this quartet, this bind up here, and I had 2 left, and that was Messenger and Son. This is the quartet that is written by Lois Lowry. The Giver is about a society in which everyone is designated at the age of 12 what they are going to do for the rest of their life. And we meet Jonas, one boy who is assigned to be the next receiver of memories. And the receiver of memories collects all of the memories that come into this world that would be deemed influential upon this society. Once Jonas realizes that things really aren't exactly as they seem, he and the current receiver of memories come up with a plan. And that plan may or may not have a happy ending. You can see those videos on my channel. I will leave links to them in the description box down below. The next book that I read is one that I have been trying to read since like October to finish up the series, and that's Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. I don't know what it is about this book. I just had the most difficult time getting into it. What helped me read this is the Dewey 24-hour readathon that actually happens in late April. Was doing challenges throughout the entire month of April, and I participated in those challenges, and that is how I finished this book. It was a good book, and I did like it. It was just, I'm not a huge action person, and this book was entirely action. Anyway, Percy Jackson is the son of a god, and not just any god, Greek god, one of the big 3, Poseidon. And because of that, he has a prophecy or a curse, however you want to look at it, on his head. And he decides everything. This is the 5th book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. There are more Rick Riordan books in which Percy Jackson does appear. I do plan on reading those. I just needed to take a break from Rick Riordan for a little bit. The next book that I turned to, I was expecting to read a little bit quicker than I did, but I still read it. The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. The Hate U Give is a book that is inspired by the Black Lives Movement, in which our main character, Star, witnesses a cop shooting her best friend. We are seeing it from Star's perspective and the twists and turns that this court case gets. This is a very important story to read. This is something that tackles a huge subject like police brutality. I will say that this is Angie Thomas's first book, and that is probably the only reason why I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because multiple times in this book, it definitely showed that it was the author's first book. And being an author myself, I look back at my first book and I'm like, ooh, I did that. So I'm not criticizing. There's just things that you learn over time with the more books that you write. And then finally, I read this book entirely during the Dewey 24-hour readathon, and that is Who Censored Roger Rabbit. This book is what the Disney movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit is based off of. It's really hard to do a quick summary of this book. Roger Rabbit goes to the most famous human PI that he can find, because he thinks that his contract is being held illegally, and he wants Eddie Valiant to get to the bottom of it. But little does Eddie Valiant know that he is stumbling not into just one homicide, but two. Now, I'm not going to tell you who they are, because that would be spoiling. I read this entire book during the 24-hour Dewey readathon. I did not do as much reading as others did, because I was trying to do other things at the same time, and it just got messy, and at least I finished this entire book during the Dewey 24-hour readathon. So that is it for this segment of this video of what I read this month. I'm going to be going now into what I am going to try to read in the month of May. The first book that I want to get to is The Return, Book 3, Disney at Last. This book is the final book in the Kingdom Keeper series, written by Ridley Pearson. I love the Kingdom Keeper series. I have all of the books, all of the little side books, the trilogy, secondary books, and I am just, I am a huge Disney fanatic. And so, once I got my hands on this series, I dug my nails into them and I did not let go. Kingdom Keeper series is about 5 children who sign up to be this new host interactive with Disney and find out that every night when they go to sleep, they're not actually sleeping, but instead they are being teleported into Disney, and they have to save Disney's magic. And I cannot really go into what this book is going to be about, because you are looking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books to read before you get to this one, so there would be some pretty massive spoilers. The next book that I want to read, I believe I've put this in my TBR before, but I never got to it. I'm hoping to this time, and that is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I just know that I need to be prepared for feels, I need to be ready to go, and it is on my list. It's pretty short, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it pretty quick. The next is Tale as Old as Time by Liz Braswell, A Twisted Tale. This book takes on the story of Beauty and the Beast with the perspective of what if Belle's mother was the one that cursed the Beast. It's an interesting take, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. And the last book that I want to get to this month is Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. This is also another very short book, so I think I'll be able to read through it pretty quickly. And this is another telling of Norse mythology. It takes the myths and it puts them into a story format that's a little bit easier to understand than the lyrical format that the Eddas are in. That is it for what I want to read this month. Now we are going into the final section, and that is the book haul during the month of April. Again, this isn't in any specific order. One of the books that I get this month I just finished talking about, and that is The Kingdom Keepers, Disney at Last by Ridley Pearson. Just talked about that, so you know how it goes. Another book that I got this month I read and told you about already, and that is Who Censored Roger Rabbit by Gary Wolfe. Another book that I got this month and also read is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I've already talked about that, so there you go. A few books I have talked about in an unboxing video that I will leave a link to in the description box down below that you can go watch if you want reviews or summaries of these videos, but I'm just going to go right through them. And that is Nurturing the Spirit by Sandra Suku, Out of Darkness by Ann Patrick, Southern Comfort, an anthology by Sandra Suku, Sherry Hans-Torres, Melanie Atkins, Charlotte Parker, and Sherry Fowler Chancellor. And then the last one that I got from that unboxing is Orphaned Hearts by Shauna K. Williams. The last book that I actually haven't talked to about a lot this month, but has been sitting right here behind me throughout most of this month's videos, and that is How to Be a Boss by Lily Singh. This was one of those things that I just, she was doing her book tour. She was literally going to be right down the street from me, and I watch her videos, and I find them funny, and I was stressing out, and I hadn't done anything for me in a really long time. So I went and I bought the ticket for $25, got to go, I got to have some fun, and I got a signed copy of How to Be a Boss. And this is a how-to book, and if you're expecting that anything other from it, it's how to be motivational, you know, be a unicorn. It's a self-help book with a lot of photos, so it shouldn't take all that long to read once I get around to reading it. Maybe if I finish up my TBR list over here, then I will. Don't know yet. This is a long video, guys. Let me know if you like having these 3 segments in one video together, or if you want me to break it up as wrap up TBR and then a separate video for book haul, or something of split 3 videos, or what. Let me know in the comment section down below. Follow me on all of my different social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Goodreads. I also have a website and an email that you can contact me on there if you so choose. My dog, who has been flipping out this entire video, also has her own Instagram. You can find that in the description box down below. Insert a creative outro here, and I will talk to you later. Bye!